Stop using those pain creams. I want you to think about it. How many tubes of strong-smelling, sticky cream do you have in your bathroom cabinet? You feel that familiar ache in your knee or that stiffness in your lower back. You reach for the tube. You rub it in. There's that intense cooling or perhaps a burning sensation. It feels like something is happening. And for maybe an hour, the pain dials down. Just a little. But what happens next? The stickiness remains, but the relief fades. And by the afternoon, or worse, in the middle of the night, the pain is back. Sometimes it feels even louder than before. We are masking the symptom. We are not solving the problem. We've been taught to silence the pain, but we've never been taught how to heal the joint. What if that cream isn't just failing to help? What if it's distracting you from what your body truly needs? It's not your fault. We are creatures of habit, and we've been marketed a very simple idea. If something hurts, make the hurt stop. But let's pause and ask a fundamental question. What is that pain cream actually doing? Most over-the-counter creams rely on two types of ingredients. The first kind are called counter-irritants. These are things like menthol, camphor, or eucalyptus. They create that hot or cold sensation you feel. They don't heal the joint. They simply create a new sensation that is stronger than the pain signal. Your brain gets distracted. It's like shouting at a crying baby to make it quiet. The baby is still unhappy. It's just momentarily stunned. The second kind are topical analgesics, like salicylates. They are a very, very mild form of painkiller that tries to slightly dull the nerve endings right at the surface of the skin. Notice what both of these methods have in common? They are all about fooling your nerves. They are designed to numb, to mask, to distract. None of them are designed to heal. Think of it this way. The pain in your knee is a fire alarm. It's a desperate signal from your body telling you, "There is a fire down here. There is inflammation. There is damage." Using a pain cream is like walking over to that shrieking fire alarm and pulling the batteries out. You might get temporary peace and quiet. You might think, problem solved. But the fire is not out. The inflammation is still raging, silently, deep inside the joint. The cartilage is still grinding. The tendons are still strained. And because you can't feel the alarm properly, you might walk on that knee more than you should. You might climb those stairs a little too confidently. You are, in effect, letting the fire spread, all while you've silenced the only warning system you have. This is the great misunderstanding of joint pain. We have declared war on the symptom, the pain, while completely ignoring the disease, the underlying cause. The goal should never be to just shut the pain up. The goal must be to put out the fire. The goal must be to fix the joint. So why do these creams ultimately fail us? Why does the pain always return, often with a vengeance? The answer is simple, but it's one the manufacturers hope we don't think about too hard. It's a matter of depth. Let's understand what a joint actually is. Imagine two bones meeting. To stop them from grinding together, they are capped with a smooth, slippery substance called cartilage. The entire joint is wrapped in a tough casing like a little balloon called the joint capsule. And inside that capsule is a special liquid, the synovial fluid, which acts like engine oil. It lubricates the joint so everything moves smoothly. The pain you feel, that chronic deep ache, comes from two sources deep inside that capsule. First, inflammation. This is the fire. For many reasons, age, injury, arthritis, the body's immune system sends inflammatory cells into the joint capsule. They are trying to fix a problem, but they get stuck in a loop, releasing chemicals that slowly eat away at the cartilage and irritate the tissues. This causes swelling, stiffness, and that constant burning ache. Second, degeneration. As the cartilage wears down and the engine oil dries up, you get friction. Bone starts to rub on bone. Nerves get pinched. Now, look at your hand. Look at the skin on your knee or your shoulder. The skin is a magnificent, waterproof, protective wall. Its entire job is to keep things out of your body. When you rub a cream on that wall, what are you asking it to do? You are asking those menthol or camphor molecules to somehow pass through all the layers of skin, through the fat, through the complex network of muscles and tendons, and then, miraculously, pass through the tough, fibrous joint capsule wall to finally reach the inflamed tissue and worn-out cartilage deep inside. It simply doesn't happen. The cream's ingredients are mostly exciting the nerve endings in the skin. They never get to the real battleground. The fire is in the basement, but we are spraying a tiny bit of water on the upstairs window. It's like having a rusty, squeaking door hinge. The pain is the awful squeak. Using a pain cream is like turning up the radio in the room so you can't hear the squeak anymore. The hinge itself is still rusted. It's still grinding itself to dust every time you open the door. What you actually need is something that can penetrate into the hinge, dissolve the rust, and provide lubrication. The failure of pain creams is a failure of delivery. They cannot get the right ingredients to the right place. They are, by their very design, a superficial solution to a deep, structural problem. We've been trying to fix an engine problem by polishing the car's hood. This is perhaps the most dangerous part of this entire cycle. When you silence the pain, you create a false sense of security. You get a small window, maybe an hour or two, where the joint feels manageable. And what do you do during that window? You do the very things your body was trying to stop you from doing. You decide to take that longer walk. You decide to lift that heavy grocery bag. You decide to kneel in the garden or go up the stairs instead of taking the elevator. You think, it's not so bad today. But the fire is not out. The rust is still in the hinge. Every step you take on that numbed knee, you are grinding what's left of your cartilage a little bit thinner. Every time you lift with that numbed shoulder, you are pinching those inflamed tendons just a little bit more. The pain was a protective mechanism. It was your body's bright red stop sign. It was saying, please stop, rest. We have a serious problem here. By muting that signal, you've essentially put a piece of black tape over your car's check engine light and decided to go on a long road trip. The engine is still overheating. The oil is still leaking. You just can't see the warning anymore. This is how joint damage accelerates. Cartilage itself has no nerve endings. You cannot feel it wearing away. You can only feel the inflammation around it. When you mask that inflammation, you give the damage a free pass to continue, silently, without you even knowing. Day after day, week after week, that minor stiffness becomes a constant ache. That occasional limp becomes a permanent change in your gait. The space in your joint, which you can't see, gets narrower and narrower. This is the silent consequence of masking the pain. You are unknowingly participating in the faster degeneration of your own joint. You are walking, step by step, closer to the day when a doctor looks at an X-ray and says, "There's nothing left. It's bone on bone. We need to discuss surgery." Those creams don't just fail to heal. They create an illusion of wellness that encourages you to harm yourself further. The very thing you bought for relief is, in a quiet way, an accomplice to the disease. So we must stop this cycle. We must stop silencing the alarm and start putting out the fire. We must stop polishing the hood and start fixing the engine. But how? If the creams can't get to the problem, what can? The answer, it turns out, is not found in a high-tech pharmaceutical lab. It's been waiting patiently for us in a form that is thousands of years old. It is a simple, natural, and incredibly powerful oil. I am talking about castor oil. Now, when you hear that, you might think of it as an old-fashioned remedy your grandmother used to talk about. And you would be right. It has been used for healing for millennia, from ancient Egypt to traditional Indian Ayurvedic medicine. It was used because it worked. What makes this oil fundamentally different from any cream you can buy at the pharmacy? It's not a counter-irritant. It will not create a strong, hot or cold sensation to distract you. It is not a numbing agent. It is a healer. The difference lies in its unique chemical makeup. Castor oil is over 90% composed of a very special fatty acid called ricinoleic acid. This isn't just a moisturizer. It is one of the most potent natural anti-inflammatory substances on the planet. This is the key. It is not a pain masker. It is an inflammation fighter. But here is the most crucial part. Remember how the problem with creams was a failure of delivery? They couldn't get through the skin barrier to the deep joint capsule. Castor oil is different. Because of its specific molecular structure, it has a transdermal delivery capability that is almost unique in the plant kingdom. It has the power to penetrate. It doesn't just sit on the surface, making your skin feel greasy. It travels deep. It seeps past the epidermis, through the dermis, and reaches the tissues beneath. Let's go back to our analogies. For the rusty, squeaking hinge, this is not the radio. This is the penetrating oil. This is the one thing that can seep deep into the hinge, get right between the metal plates, and begin to dissolve the rust while providing lubrication. For the fire alarm, this is not pulling the batteries. This is the firefighter. This is the agent that actually goes into the basement, finds the source of the fire, and begins to spray water directly on it. When you rub this oil on your joint, the ricinoleic acid penetrates deep into the tissue and begins to calm that storm of inflammation. It tells the immune system, it's okay, you can stand down, the crisis is ending. But it does something else, something just as profound. It supports your lymphatic system. Think of the lymph system as your body's garbage disposal. When there is a lot of inflammation, there is a lot of debris, dead cells, inflammatory byproducts. Castor oil helps kickstart the lymphatic drainage around the joint, helping to clear all that toxic sludge away, which further reduces swelling and pain. This is not a 10-minute fix. This is a deep healing process. We are not looking for a temporary distraction. We are looking for a permanent solution. We are turning off the disease, not just the symptom. Let's go a little deeper into how this one oil can accomplish what a whole tube of chemicals cannot. It's all about targeting the root causes of pain, not just the perception of it. The magic of castor oil and its ricinoleic acid is that it works on multiple levels simultaneously. First, let's talk about the inflammation fire itself. Inflammation isn't just a vague concept, it's a chemical cascade. Your body releases specific messenger molecules called prostaglandins that essentially create the sensation of pain and swelling. Many modern painkillers, like ibuprofen, are designed to block these messengers. Well, ricinoleic acid has been studied for its remarkable ability to do the same thing, but naturally. It calms the production of these pro-inflammatory chemicals at the source. So, instead of just distracting the nerve from the pain signal, it's actually reducing the volume of the pain signal being created in the first place. Second, and this is absolutely critical, is its effect on your lymphatic system. If your circulatory system is the body's delivery network for nutrients, your lymphatic system is its waste disposal and sanitation network. It's a vast, slow-moving web of vessels right under your skin, responsible for clearing out toxins, cellular waste, and excess fluid. When a joint is chronically inflamed, it's like a flooded city. the area is waterlogged with inflammatory fluids and metabolic garbage. The lymphatic system is overwhelmed and the drains are clogged. This is a huge part of what causes that stiff, swollen, boggy feeling. Pain creams do nothing for this. Castor oil is a powerful lymphagogue, an agent that promotes the flow of lymph. When you apply it, especially when you rub it into the skin, you are stimulating these tiny vessels. You are helping to unclog the drain. The oil encourages the lymphatic system to start pumping, drawing that toxic, inflammatory fluid away from the joint capsule. This is a profound physical detoxification of the pained area. You are literally helping your body to drain the swamp. This is why, after a few applications, people don't just report less pain. They report less swelling, less stiffness, and more range of motion. They are feeling the effects of the pressure being physically removed from the joint. Third, this leads to improved blood circulation. Once the swamp is drained and the inflammation is calmed, fresh, healthy, oxygenated blood can finally get back into the area. Blood is life. It's what carries the nutrients, the proteins, and the building blocks your body needs to repair the damaged cartilage and tissues. This is the exact opposite of what many pain creams do. That intense cold sensation? That's from ingredients that cause vasoconstriction. They tighten the blood vessels, reducing blood flow to the area. They are effectively starving the joint of the very resources it needs to heal, all for the sake of a few minutes of numbness. So, let's compare. The pain cream numbs a nerve on the skin's surface. The castor oil, 1. Penetrates deep to the joint. 2. Calms the chemical source of inflammation. 3. Drains the toxic swelling fluid via the lymphatic system. 4. Allows healing blood flow to return to the site. One is a cover-up. The other is a deep foundational healing strategy. One is a 30-minute truce. The other is the path to winning the war. But it's not just about what you use. It's about how you use it. This is not a 30-second impatient rub and go like those old creams. This is a ritual. This is an act of care. We are going to partner with this oil to bring healing to the joint. Here is how you do it, and how you do it correctly. First, you must get the right oil. You are looking for 100% pure, cold-pressed, hexane-free castor oil. Cold-pressed means it was extracted without heat, which preserves all those vital anti-inflammatory compounds. Hexane-free means no harsh chemical solvents were used. You will often find it in a dark glass bottle. This is important. Every evening, before you rest, pour a generous amount, perhaps the size of a quarter or more, into the palm of your hand. Rub your hands together to gently warm the oil. Now, place your hands on the joint that is in pain. Your knee, your shoulder, your hip, your knuckles, and you begin to massage. This is not a light, superficial stroking of the skin, and it is not a painful, aggressive digging. It is a slow, deep, intentional massage. Use your thumbs and the full palms of your hands. You are moving in slow, consistent circles around and across the entire joint. If it's your knee, you are massaging the sides, the area above the kneecap, the tender spots on the inside. You are physically moving the tissue. What you are doing is profound. You are manually stimulating that lymphatic system. You are telling those clogged drains, it's time to flow. You are warming the tissues, which draws in that fresh, healing blood. And you are physically pushing that incredible ricinoleic acid-rich oil deeper into the joint capsule. Do this for at least 5 minutes. 10 is even better. Put on some music. Breathe deeply. This is not a chore. This is your 10 minutes of healing. This is you finally listening to your body and giving it what it actually needs. If you want to amplify this effect, you can create a castor oil pack. This is the gold standard. You take a piece of soft, clean cloth, flannel is perfect, and you soak it in the castor oil. Not just damp, but saturated. You place this oily cloth directly on the joint, cover it with a piece of plastic wrap, and then you apply gentle heat. A hot water bottle or a safe heating pad, placed on top for 30 to 60 minutes. What does the heat do? It opens your pores. It dilates your blood vessels. It drives that anti-inflammatory oil so deep into the joint, it's like a targeted healing injection, but without any needle. It is a 1,000-year-old remedy that is more powerful than most things you can buy. Now, I must tell you the most important part of this. This is not a menthol cream. You will not feel an instant artificial zing of relief. That was the lie. That was the distraction. The healing that comes from this oil is different. It is quiet. It is gradual. It is deep. You might not feel much the first night. You might not even feel much the second night. But then maybe on the third or fourth morning, you will stand up out of bed, and you will pause, and you will realize, wait, it doesn't hurt as much. The stiffness, it's not as loud. The swelling seems softer. That is what real healing feels like. It's not a loud distraction. It's a quiet return to balance. We have to unlearn our desire for an instant fix, which was only masking the problem, and learn to embrace the patience of a real solution. You are not broken. Your body has not forgotten how to heal. It has been screaming for help, and we have been giving it the wrong tools. We have been giving it batteries for the fire alarm when it needed water for the fire. This oil, this simple, ancient oil, this is the water. And the gentle, loving massage you give yourself, that is the firefighter. You are, with your own hands, putting out the fire. Trust this process. Give your body this chance. This is a fundamental shift in how we see our bodies and our pain. We are moving from being passive consumers of a temporary fix to becoming active participants in our own healing. The power is not in the cream. The power has always been in your body's own incredible ability to repair itself. We just needed the right key to unlock that process. This oil is the key. Your hands, applying it with care, are what turn that key. So I invite you to start tonight. Make that small investment in a single bottle of pure, cold-pressed castor oil. It will last you a very long time, and it costs less than those tubes of cream that you have to keep buying over and over. Give yourself this gift. Give yourself those 10 minutes of quiet healing massage. Trust in this gentle, powerful, age-old process. If this new way of thinking makes sense to you, if you are tired of being told to just cover up your symptoms and are ready to start finding real, natural solutions that heal from the inside out, then I invite you to continue this journey with us. Follow this channel. We are not about miracle cures or quick fixes. We are about understanding our bodies. We are about finding the wisdom that has been here all along and learning how to apply it to our modern lives. We are building a community of people who are choosing to live healthier, stronger, and more empowered lives. We would be honored if you were a part of it. And finally, if you were thinking of someone specific while watching this, a spouse, a parent, a neighbor, or a friend, someone you know who is in chronic pain and is stuck in that endless cycle of pain creams, please share this video with them. You won't just be sharing a link, you will be sharing a new possibility. You will be sharing a path out of that pain and giving them the gift of true, deep, natural relief. Thank you for your time. Stop just managing your pain. Start healing your joint. You deserve it.